And we continue with our rolling coverage of the intermittent light outages, the electricity outages that are plaguing the country. Earlier, we looked at the general impact on the country's economy, and then we focused on the agricultural sector. So let's check what's happening underground, where the Impala Platinum Mine in Rustenburg in the northwest has halted production due to severe load shedding. The company says it's restricted workers from going underground since yesterday. Impala says the current high levels of load shedding have been a major blow to all producers of platinum group metals. We're now joined on the line by Johan Theron, who is the spokesperson of Impala Mine. Johan, thank you very much for coming onto the program. When did you lose power and how did you prepare for outages before disaster could strike?
Yeah, so power has been constrained for the better part of this week, but things really got difficult yesterday when it was moved up to stage 6. And yesterday afternoon, this time, we had no option other than to stop production at our Rustenburg and Marula operation.
So how's your production going to be affected? And rather for you to be able to foresee your projected losses when you are not active?
Yeah, so it's very difficult when we're obviously not operating. So last night we stopped people from going underground, and today again we didn't send the day shift down. But I'm happy to report that things seem to have got a little bit better through the day, and it looks like we might be able to resume production again from the night shift tonight.
Have you declared a force majeure with your clients to state the unforeseeable circumstances that prevent your mine from fulfilling the contract of supply?
Yeah, so we're not quite there yet. Obviously we were able to operate up until yesterday. So we will be okay in terms of supplying our customers. But obviously every day that we stand, we lose a day's revenue. For our Rustenburg operation, that's about 100 million rand a day. And we still have to pay our employees and our suppliers. So it's not a good situation.
So when you have to resume operations, obviously miners cannot just walk into the mine. What are the strict security and safety measures that are in place to ensure that there couldn't be any disaster in the waiting when the workers go back to work?
Yeah, so as you rightly point out, safety is very important, and we've got a whole host of safety protocols. So the mine has been empty. Nobody's been in the mine for a day. So the first thing and the first risk is obviously the accumulation of gases. So to make sure that the mine is well ventilated and, that there's no toxic gases in the mine. But there's lots of instrumentation and protocols to ensure that. And, of course, our employees are well trained to operate in these conditions.
When the rains persist, the risk of flooding could also be imminent. Are you really considering that the water flow can also endanger and put the mine at risk?
Yeah, so for us, being deep underground mines, the rain is not so much of an issue from a mining perspective. Obviously, those mining companies that operate open cast mines, they will have, lots of issues. And I think we've heard in the news that some of the coal mines that supply Eskom, they are open cast mines and they've been flooded because, they're obviously open to the rain. Our challenge is more on the surface. Our tailing storage facilities, our processing plants, that's exposed to the rain. But again, we've been able to deal fairly well with that.
You lose 100 million rand per day. How are you going to make up for the losses, given that we're heading up towards the festive season and workers will be going home and everybody will be away? So what's going to happen in the interim?
Yeah, so that's obviously not a good situation. Fortunately, we do have other mining operations in North America and Zimbabwe that's not impacted. So, as a large mining company, it's obviously a big impact. But we do have the ability that, we have other operations that's still operating. I think the more severe impact is on some of our suppliers, some of the contractors, some of the smaller businesses that work with us. They obviously are in the same position. They have to pay their employees. When they stand, they don't receive an income, and they don't necessarily have, other operations that they can rely on. So, it's a big impact, but for some of the smaller suppliers, it will be quite devastating.
Right, we thank you for your time. Johan Theron, a spokesperson of the Impala Mine, coming to us live from the Rustenburg area that is in the Platinum Belt, and of course bringing us to the end of our economics bulletin right here on Asset Today.